Our centering words this morning in the order of service are from Margaret Wheatley, and she states, "There is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about." You are all in a state of change right now. And change is hard. No one can argue that. But what I've discovered is that on the other side of change, there is not only growth, but joy and surprise. When we look at something in a different way, with a different lens, it opens up a whole new world for us. And this goes for everyone. I know it can be scary sometimes, and I know a lot of the time we don't want to do it. We don't want to accept change. That is part of my job as interim minister for you all, to help you see the other side and what awaits you that is joyous and surprising. Last June we held a workshop on Appreciative Inquiry, and you all used your imaginations to come up with answers to questions like, remember the time the congregation worked really well? What was your part in it? Or, how has this congregation made a difference in your life? How did it affect you? And you could answer in a positive way or a not so positive way. I also noticed that many did not quite answer the questions, but gave answers that didn't really address the question. When the question was asked, remember a time the congregation worked really well, what was your part in that? We received answers like, after our first minister left, there was a lot of positive energy, or it operates well all the time, or people are intelligent, discussion of all aspects of faith or belief, community, working together and being a community. People are different from other churches. What this question asked was, what was your part in it? So many answered about others, or ethereally, or as an observer of others. They critiqued how the congregation was, but made no mention of their part in its success. And I would like to suggest my interpretation of those answers. Those answers weren't personal. They aren't connected to the congregation. They're seen from afar. Some folks here see themselves as separate, as an observer. And that could hinder how, as a collection of members, there is always something separate from you personally. That to have a cohesive group of like-minded individuals, there needs to be a feeling of solidarity, a feeling of contribution, a feeling that you are adding to the success or failure of this group of people. It could be a reason why it's so difficult sometimes to find those folks to give service to this community. If you separate yourself from the community as a whole, then you're not responsible for parts or all of it when a need arises. This question to me offered an inward look into how some or many of you view this community and how you fit in it. Is it just a place to come on Sundays? If the congregation was working really well, you must have gotten something out of it. So what part did you play? How did you contribute? Those were the answers to this question, and it really didn't get answered. Some did. Answers also included, I like the idea of a church with no doctrine. It felt positive. Adult RE was rewarding to me. The black and white auction offered time spent in companionship and entertainment. Someone felt encouraged to take more risks, become more active in the community. Someone said, I have a place to go on Sundays. It keeps me out of trouble. MPUUs make me feel happy. That's a feeling they got out of being here. But what part did they play? That could definitely be a goal to work on this year. If you're not able to communicate what you are getting out of this congregation and also what you're putting in, we need to clarify that. And that is individual work that you need to do yourselves. No one can tell each of you what you're getting out of belonging here. Some can sometimes tell you that what you are contributing because they can see it. They can see the time and effort you are putting into contributing to the welfare of this community. You need to do that inner work of what it is that will bring you together in a more cohesive, spiritual community. And that is a joyous goal to have. Yes, it can be a bit scary. Yes, you'll have to do some work that may be uncomfortable. But that is the nature of change. And that is the nature of doing spiritual inner work. I didn't say it would be comfortable. Question number 2 was, how has the congregation made a difference in your life? How has it affected you? Again, some did not answer personally, but many more did than the first question. I read answers like, it's a place where I can be fully myself. I can speak my own truth. I built relationships with people. I found people who were really nice people. I found a chance to volunteer. Found leadership opportunities. Found people with shared beliefs and comfort. Provided a place for kids to grow up in a spiritual community. There's a feeling of belonging, someone said, a feeling of a family. It feels like I belong. Connection to the community offered inspiration and transformation. I've had personal growth and learning from other people. These are examples of a difference made in people's lives, and that's a primary purpose for this community to exist. That's why we are here, to make a difference. It was gratifying to read these responses, for what I saw in them was more of a result in membership and a reason for members to return week after week. Question number 3 asked everyone to write down 3 wishes they would like to see happen with this congregation. The top 5 that were recorded were more community involvement and social justice work, new members, younger members, and more diversity, growth of the congregation, own or control our own facility and property, and having stability with a future minister. These are wonderful wishes. It was good to see them written down. When we can see a vision for ourselves in black and white, we have the capacity and the drive to see it to fruition. These are worthy goals, and they should not just be goals. If these are the deepest wishes of members of this congregation, then the next step is to follow through. We have ideas, we have wishes, we have visions, and to follow through with all of these, we need a plan and we need support. We also need guts, determination, and persistence. I quote Howard Thurman, who says, "It is often very difficult to make up one's mind. The difficulty may be due to the complexities of the issues involved or to the limited number of facts available for consideration, or certain fears that overshadow the horizon, or a general habit of indecision that has developed over the years. Of course, one must never forget that postponing a decision may be to decide by default. It is the nearest illusion to think that, if I do not make up my mind, events that are contingent upon me and my decision will await my pleasure. Howard Thurman. A general habit of indecision that has developed over the years. Many decisions do not wait. So many times not making a decision is a decision itself. I would love to see you all follow through with these goals and visions that you have put on paper. This workshop that we did had a purpose to help you look inward, to visualize, to dream and create, not just for a fun exercise, but for a real purpose. It is now up to you to follow through with what you wish for. You don't have to wait for a settled minister to begin the journey of completing your goals. There's no time like the present. In your top wishes, a vision emerged that stated MPUUC would engage in more community and social justice work and be an active and ongoing part of the community and life at MPUUC. In the future, MPUUC will have new members who are younger, a congregation that is more diverse in ethnic and racial makeup, and will grow in numbers. Continue to be able to sustain a full-time minister and a DRE, and to have a home that is permanent, sustainable, and yours. All of these comments and themes and statistics were accomplished by a dedicated team here at Mission Peak of Colleen Arnold, Valerie Stewart, and Holly Ito. They took the time to collate all this information from the workshop and give it to me. Now it's up to you, congregation. Now it's time for a plan. That is your vision and your goals. It won't be easy. It should be fun. It might be scary. And it will be so rewarding to follow through with these ambitions. They give you purpose. They give you rejuvenation. They give you spirituality, joy, comfort, and community. I know you have the will. And the words of Ethel Waters come to mind. Life is not intended to be safe. A safe life has too small a name for a creature of eternity. Life at its noblest and highest has a hazard about it. It ponders tomorrow, but does not know it. It sounds the depths of the ocean, but knows not the hazards of the bottom. Life at its best takes a chance on righteousness no matter the hazard, no matter the cost. Life, when answering to its true name, lifts on wings, feeling no invisible hands supporting it. Life is not intended to be safe. I call upon you this morning to choose courage over comfort. Spread those wings. Bound out of those limiting ideas you may have had in the past. As Marcus Aurelius said, dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. You can do this. I have faith in you. I see your aspirations and your hopes, and I support you in this work. Yet, a sea change needs to be made in attitude and purpose from what I see occurring now. Whenever a negative thought appears, whenever the not enough scenario rears its ugly head, cancel that from your thoughts and actions and remember what it is you are here to do and what your vision for this community is. When you say we don't have enough money to do that, change that thought to how do we get the funds we need to accomplish this goal? When you say we don't have enough volunteers to fill those positions, change that thought to showing others that giving service to this community will not only help the congregation to thrive, but will give back to those giving service to an even greater degree. Stop using the word volunteer. We are giving service to this community, and when we do, it comes from our heart and not as an obligation. Giving service brings compassion for others. Giving service can bring the passion you have for a project or a cause. Giving service offers you an opportunity to give back to others, to forward a cause, and will give you the satisfaction and happiness that maybe you've long been craving. An anonymous saying I found reads, "If you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help somebody." So if you want happiness for a lifetime, give service and help someone. And remember what Margaret Wheatley said. There is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. You are on that path. Continue it with gusto. May it be so. Blessed be.